Well, hi, this is Rob Travels with Dottie in the editing room, and I wanted to give you a little bit of an explanation about this video. This was totally unplanned. You're going to see a video tomorrow about the saloon that's in the village of Eagle Nest and the sort of ghost story, and it's a really cool video. But I had made arrangements to meet people there to give me a tour at 5 o'clock today. And I got there and they said, "Hey, we tried to get a hold of you. They're going to be an hour late." Um, so I took off in the car and I just started driving around at random, hoping to find something interesting. And I was recording and I wandered out on a dirt road and I looked at the map and I saw what looks like a little neighborhood, like in the middle of nowhere. And it ended up being the community of Idlewild. And um, I don't show the turn by turn to get there because you're going to see when I got there, I got this, it wasn't private roads or anything, they're public roads, but it's this little like cabin community with some surprises in it, and it felt private. It wasn't private, you know, weren't private roads. I was allowed to be there, but it just didn't feel right to like put out a video that shows exactly how to get there. You can They have a website and everything. You can find them, but I just didn't want to be the one that would lead people there. It's hard to explain. But anyway, I'm going to open it up where um, I'm driving down this dirt road. It's raining, and I'm discovering this. You're going to be with me, and you'll discover it as I discover it. I hope you like it. Or if someone sees me coming from a distance, probably going to be asking, "Who the heck is that coming out here?" I can see some one, looks like maybe half a dozen houses up on this hill to the right. If you look down here to your left here, you can see the roof of two very small buildings. The roof line is even with the road. So there's quite a little drop off there. Looks like very old structures to me. Very old, maybe 70, 80 years old, something along those lines. If the map is correct, we're going to see an interesting little area up here. I'm curious, very curious as to what's going to be here. Lots of roads, and I see a Route 127 sign up here. Interesting. And that Route 127 sign that I saw, it just disappeared off the map. Okay. Nice little house up here on the right. Doesn't look occupied. Lots of weeds growing up around it, but it's a nice looking little house. Log cabin on the right there. That looks really nice too, but does not look occupied. There's a no trespassing sign right in front of it. I'll keep my eyes peeled to make sure this doesn't turn into some kind of private drive and I end up trespassing somewhere. I see some lights through the trees up here. see what this says up here. Welcome to Idlewild. We're in a little place called Idlewild. So we have found a little community out here called Idlewild. The big sign on this house that says Idlewild Community Caretaker. And here it says Highway 127 to the right, Worship Center, Worship Service, 10:30 a.m. I assume on Sundays. So there's the church up here. Do you think that I've heard this is ringing a faint bell that there's a community up here of cabins and lots that you can purchase? And maybe the Idlewild community is kind of semi an HOA, I think. I don't know if you can see that, but on the right there is an enormous A-frame, the highest pitch roof, steepest pitch roof I've ever seen. If I can turn the gimbal the right way so you can see that. Maybe not. It's hard to see through the trees. Well, what we have is a very secluded mountain community called Idlewild. The house there has the family name on it, Stevens from Fort Worth, Texas. So I'd imagine these are summer, many of these are summer places. Lots of cabins, and most of them, I mean, it's August, so you would think this would be peak occupancy in the summer. Let's say lots of signs here. And it looks like signs pointing to various family names. And to the left here is Idlewild Community Church. Father's Day through Labor Day, Sundays 10:30 a.m. So, many more signs with family names on them. It's a Texas flag on that house. And we're following Highway 127. Worship Center to the right. All right, we'll see about that. They call this Worship Center Road. Well, I've decided I'm probably gonna. I have the whole route on how to get here on film, and I have decided I'm going to cut that out. I'm not going to describe how to get here, because you know what? My sense is this. This seems to me to be a very private place for these folks. And it's really cool. And I'm just not going to disclose how I got here, but I'm going to let you see it for sure. Now, I'm not sure that I've gone the right way to go to the church. I'm a little lost. This is it right here, I think. I think this is the church. Wow. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the church right here. This is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Wow. This is it. I see the cross. I see everything. Um, wow. Yeah. I'm gonna find a place to turn around down here and make my way back out. Hopefully. I think it's too tight to do it here. Hopefully I'll have better options down here on turning around. But I really want to get a... boy, I hope there's a place to turn around down here. Because I do not have four-wheel drive, guys. And this is ending... It looks like maybe a private... Is it a private place that's ending? Or is the road turning down here? Well, hopefully they won't mind if I turn around here. Hart. That's a family name for me. So if they come out and yell at me, I'll say, my grandmother's maiden name was Hart. My dad's middle name is Hart. My brother's middle name is Hart. He lives on Hart Lane in Idaho. We're coming up on the church here, and I'm going to pop the camera off the dash and show you a side view of this amazing church. Like Texas plate. I'm beginning to get the idea there might be a lot of Texans here. Here's the church, guys. Obviously, they have services outside here. There's the pulpit right down there in that A-frame. And looks like they'll have services indoors. It'll be in there. Wow. I had no idea that this is something I was going to find driving down that road. Wow. So we're going to put this back on, and we're going to reverse our course here. I have, as you saw, I passed one car and one side by side. That's it. I have not seen a soul other than. Wow. I hope you guys appreciate this unexpected, really cool looking community. And I hope you understand why I'm not going to show turn by turn how to get here. Certainly, it's, if you really want to find it, you can get on Google and you can find a way to get here. And that won't stop. But I would just feel terrible if I upset people here by posting videos about how to get to their little community. I mean, when I say private, there's no private signs or no trespassing, anything like that, other than on some particular homes. But it's public roads in here for sure. God, these rustic little cabins are just so cool looking. There's one with a ginormous propane tank, which means that place would be good for winter living, I'm sure. And I was thinking, God, would it have been a lot better if this had been a sunny day? And I'm like, I'm not sure. I think maybe this could be the perfect weather to show this place. And like I said, I had heard a few things about Idlewild, but certainly it wasn't my intent to come here today. My intent was, I was supposed to meet people at the saloon in town to do a video at 5, and they got they're somewhere else and won't be there until 6. And I didn't want to stay and eat because I had already eaten, and I was like, I wanted to kill an hour. So I decided just to drive at random around, and I ended up here. And it's 5:36, so I've killed more than half the time, and it's probably going to take me 20 minutes to get back there. So I've just about killed my hour, but I'm wondering if this video is going to do better than the one I had planned. As a matter of fact, as I'm thinking about it, I'm probably going to release this video tomorrow, and then the one on the saloon, um, I'm assuming I'm going to, there's the caretaker house. I'm assuming I'm going to get the other video tonight. I'll do that. I'll release that on Saturday. That house has a ton of solar panels on it, but there is electrical up here. For sure, I see electric lines. I don't know what they do about sewage. I mean, I can't imagine all these little places on small plots of land. I can't imagine that they all have like septic tanks and leach fields. I wonder if they share something. Be interesting. I think there's probably a website. I'll check it out and see what I can find out about it. But it's behind me now. There. So wasn't that cool to see that? I hope my experience driving through it and seeing it in for real is I hope it's a similar experience for you watching the video. Uh, Sometimes it's hard to predict whether things come through the screen. Um, it's certainly not perfect, that's for sure. Now I was watching this YouTube video on this guy that was trying to he was playing around with predicting what things would be like in the year 2100, 76, 75 years or so from now. Um, and that interested me for two reasons. One is I like thinking like that, and the other is I'm a great uncle again for the third time, and for the third time it's a boy. There are a lot of boys in my family, and we were on a family group text with pictures and everything. Everybody's all emotional, and I made this statement in the text. I said, this child is gonna see, in all probability, is gonna see the year 2100. And everyone realized at the same time, he's right. And as a fact, my sister Annie responded. She said, "Yeah, he's gonna be the same age that year as I am now." Like, wow, that's crazy. Anyway, my one of my predictions is that if I'm doing the equivalent of a YouTube video in 75 years, it'll be virtual reality, and you will be sitting in my seat in the car, and you will be experiencing it just like I am now. I think it'll be indistinguishable from the reality, including smells, everything. which almost begs the question, if it gets that good, and you know what? It will. We'll be able to simulate reality so it's indistinguishable from the real thing in 75 years. I'm certain of that. My question would be, what would be the reasons why anyone would bother to go physically do things? Like drive out to New Mexico and drive around like I am. Um, I think the only thing would be the unpredictability of it, which if you're, it's predictable. I mean, maybe not predictable, like you don't know how a movie's going to end um, when you're watching the movie, right? It's not entirely, but what is predictable is sort of the gist, right? How long it's going to last and in basic terms, what you're going to see. Um, I'm thinking through that as I'm talking, and I was thinking like, I could have a flat tire right now, and that would not be a predictable thing if you were experiencing this in virtual reality, but it's entirely plausible. If I had a flat tire right now, I probably wouldn't film the whole thing in real time, but I would film it. I would show you what's going on. I'd say, hey, look what happened. This is what I did to fix it. I would make it part of the experience. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's if let's just pretend instead of what you're watching this on the screen, that you're experiencing it through my eyes and you're you're in the car with your hands on the steering wheel and you're feeling the bumps in the road and you're looking out and it's all totally real to you. One thing that I'm certain that you will be able to do that I cannot do right now is you can end it. You can hit the off switch. And you want to hear something funny? There's a there's a display screen on my camera that shows me, and when I snap my fingers, the screen timed out at that instant and went blank. Too bad you can't see that. But I can make that happen in editing. When I snap my fingers, I can do a black screen. I'll do that. I did that. Anyway, that's sort of a thought exercise on what things may be like when my grandnephew is 75 years old and celebrating the turn of the next century, the year 2100. Um, and probably here's my other prediction, that they'll think how quaint it was that when my great uncle was alive, people only lived to about 90 years old. Can you imagine that? Because everyone knows, we live until 120, 130, 140. I saw a guy on the Today Show that was 150. That could be one of the. I'm almost certain that the trajectory of life expectancy is going to continue to accelerate. I saw Neil deGrasse Tyson had a video where he was talking about the concept of immortality, and he asked the question, if science could have you live forever, would you want to? Right? How would your view of yourself and the world and being human change if you were immortal? Knowing that, you could live forever. Now, see, there's a flaw in that thinking, and here's the flaw, is I think no matter how advanced we get, in terms of, I think it's entirely plausible that we could have such advances that you would not die of disease or old age. But I doubt there's any technology that would make human beings completely indestructible. So you could be on your path to living forever and have a terrible accident, and that would be all she wrote. Now, now you can make the argument, well, what if they find a way to download your consciousness to a machine? And like in Star Trek, you are downloaded into a machine like Data, the robot, or android. Um, and they have a backup constantly where if the body is destroyed, it just they download you into a new one. And that's like the new. You guys remember Battlestar Galactica from the '70s, and they remade that into a miniseries. And that miniseries, the robot Cylons in the new one were indistinguishable from human beings. I mean, they flesh and blood, and they were indistinguishable. And one of the features would, if you killed a Cylon, their consciousness would automatically wake up in a new body elsewhere. And so they were truly immortal and indestructible. They're, well, indestructible unless the whatever plant there was that grew replacement bodies was destroyed, then they wouldn't be. But anyway, you know what I mean. I'm about to get back um, to do that other video, and I appreciate you so much watching my videos, especially this one. I'm real excited about, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one. Take care.